Do it once, it's not going to do anything. Do it twice, it's not going to do anything. Do it for a month, might do something little. If you can do this every day for 6 months straight, which is what I've done, then you will start to see results. Hey, what's up guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today I want to talk about a daily workflow that you can follow to reach 100,000 followers on Instagram and to start monetizing your page ASAP. Now, if you're new to the channel, I help coaches and consultants to grow their Instagram and to monetize to 6 figures through their coaching offers or through their consulting offers, and we do it all through organic marketing. Now, to get straight into the video, when it comes to your daily workflow, there's going to be a lot of people who will agree with these points. There'll be a lot of people who probably disagree with these points, but I don't care. This is my workflow. This is what I recommend, the things you do, the things that you must be doing every single day. Okay, so there's no kind of like once a day, once a week, twice a week. It's do this every single day and you will have success. It doesn't matter what niche you're in. It doesn't matter what industry. It doesn't matter who you are, what type of content you post. If you follow this workflow, you'll get success. Okay, it's been proven time and time again by multiple people in multiple different niches, not only people I know, but people who I've also coached, people who are in my program, have all had success with this workflow. Okay, so to get straight into it, the first thing is to post one piece of content every day. So yes, I think you should be posting content every day. The only time where you can get away with not posting content every day is if you're so good at what you do, you can actually get away with it, right? There is not many people on Instagram, there is not that many people creating content who are so good at what they do that they can get away with posting less than once every day. There's just not, right? And if you're watching this video, chances are you are not that person, right? That's just reality. I'm not that person. You watching it, you're not that person. There is a very small amount of people who actually are so good at what they do, they can post one piece of content like once a month and they can still blow up because it's just that good. But you're probably not in that situation. So I recommend one piece of content every single day. That will just help you massively when it comes to actually understanding what content works, understanding for yourself what works, what system works best for you, what process works best for you, what content do you enjoy making the most. But ultimately, just posting every single day. You can have a Sunday. I usually say to people, have one day off at least. But if you can post every single day, it's just exposure, right? Just like if you was going to pay money into Facebook for a Facebook ad to give you exposure, instead you're paying with time. You're paying with time and energy to get that exposure. The more time and energy you can put into it, the better. But I think once per day is kind of the optimal amount so that you can be consistent and you don't burn out at the same time. Second thing, posting stories. Now I recommend kind of 3 to 5 stories every day. You don't really need to go too many, you don't need to go overboard. Sometimes you can do more, of course. Sometimes you can do less. But in general, 3 to 5 stories a day. But that's not going to help you directly with growth, but it's going to help you with keeping your current followers engaged, keeping them coming back to your profile, which then helps you to get more engagement on your content, which then helps you to get more growth, more exposure moving forward. Okay, which is like one thing that a lot of people tend to neglect, or what a lot of people tend to forget, is that when you're building a following, when you're building an audience on any platform, not just Instagram, but you must always prioritize who is already following you, right? Even if it's one person, prioritize that one person, talk to them, engage with them, get them coming back to your content, get them engaging, because it's ultimately that engagement from your following that will then help you grow your page exponentially in the future. It's very difficult to grow a page exponentially where you are doing all of the outbound work, all of the outbound engagement. So you need to get people coming back because they will then help your page then take off without you having to do too much else. So one thing I probably should have said at the start is that this workflow, do this for kind of 6 months, and then you won't need to be doing it anymore because your content and your engagement will be so high that will then take over and do the work for you. Third thing, make sure you're messaging and replying to leads. Now, again, this won't help you grow, but it will help you monetize. A lead will come in many different sort of shapes and sizes, and they might be a cold lead, they might be a warm lead, or they could be a hot lead. But there's opportunity at an abundance on Instagram, and most people don't even realize it. Even if you have 100 followers, 200 followers, you can still get leads. One of my clients, Mike, he had less than 200 followers, joined my program. He sold his first program for about €2,500, I think it was. And he sold it within a matter of 2 weeks, right? So you can have those same results, but only if you look for opportunity. If you're not looking for opportunity, then it will pass you by. So you must be on the lookout. The fourth thing, and this is where it starts to get a bit sort of technical and quantifiable. And this is where some people are going to agree and disagree, but it's just the rough numbers I've put to it. Now, I think that every day you should be following and DMing 10 to 30 people in your niche and or your target audience, right? So you're following and DMing people who do the same thing as you, and also people you're trying to target and sell to. But in a weird way, the priority should be on people who do the same thing as you, because that is how you grow the community. That's how you grow the engagement and exposure within your space. Now, I've put 10 to 30 people, but that number is going to change drastically depending on your niche, and obviously depending on the kind of space you have and how your community itself works. For example, in my industry, in kind of like marketing, Instagram growth, online business, there's a lot of people, it's very saturated, but there's a lot of engagement. So finding 10 to 30 people every day is not hard. It's really not hard. But if you're in an industry where it's not as well known, it's quite narrow, quite specific, then obviously you're not going to be able to find 10 to 30 people a day. It's absolutely fine. But just find as many as you can and do what you can in that day. And as long as you're kind of reaching out to at least 10 people, I mean, you should be able to find, there's a billion people on Instagram. If you can't find 10 people every day, again, this is only going to be for perhaps a few months. If you can't find 10 people every day in your niche or who you're trying to sell to, then I think that's more of a you problem than an industry problem. Okay, you need to fix up how you're searching people. And again, that might be another video at some point. But at least 10 people every day, reach out to them, follow them, build those connections. But the key thing here is that even though I've put a number to it, if you're struggling, focus on the quality of that engagement over the quantity, right? Because if you can just get, 5 people who are always engaged compared to trying to reach out to 10 people who only 1 or 2 of them are engaged, then of course the quality there is always going to win. So quality over quantity is important, but do aim for around about 10, which is kind of a good number to look for. Next point, reply to all comments. We've got 3 points left. So the next point is reply to all comments on your posts. I cannot emphasize enough how important this is. It's something that I don't do enough of, I would admit that. I'm at a completely different stage to you who's watching this video. If you are watching this video, chances are you're trying to grow your page still. You must be replying to comments. Because it's a way to nurture your audience. It's a way to reciprocate kind of the engagement they're given. And it's a way to incentivize people to keep commenting, right? If we can keep people commenting, we can keep people coming back. It means that we can then kind of post a piece of content, and in our mind, we can kind of know there's an absolute minimum amount of engagement we're going to get. And now that minimum amount is going to start off at like 5 likes or 10 likes. But over time, when you're adding more people to your community, that will go up and it will become 50, then 100, 200, 500, 600, and it will just go up, and it will begin to exponentially grow as well, but it needs to be consistent with that. Second to last point, make sure you're commenting on the top posts or on the post of the top 20 accounts in your niche every day, every single day. There's absolutely no reason not to. This is like prime sort of space for exposure. If you imagine you own a business and you were going to create posters, for example, right? You wouldn't do this. It's kind of like an old strategy, but it would still work. But imagine you're going to create posters and you wanted to put them up on walls around your city for your target audience to see. Well, the best way to do it is you get those posters, you would go to the places where your target audience is and where they go to the most often, and you put your posters up all around that area. Similar idea here. The top 20 accounts is where your target audience is every single day. So if you go there every single day, comment on those posts, engage with people on those comments as well, that's going to be like the ultimate way to get the exposure from who you're looking to get exposure from. Okay, it's simple and effective. Not enough people do it. And then the final point, when it comes to growth, this last one doesn't cause growth, but it's a bit like stories in that it can, over time, create growth in a certain way. So what it is pinning 3 comments on your posts. So whenever you're posting content, pin at least 3 comments. Well, I think you can only do 3 anyway, but pin 3 comments on your posts. And again, this is just about incentivizing people. When someone gets a pinned comment, naturally they get more exposure to that comment, which means they'll get more exposure to their page, which means they'll get more followers on their page. And the reality is that we are all in this for ourselves, right? And you can't lie. You can't sit there and say, I'm on a minute, to help other people. Of course, we are all helping other people, but at the crux of it, we are in this game for ourselves. We look at things in a selfish way. How can this benefit me? How can this content benefit me? How can this work for me? We always look at things like that. Of course, then we take that information and then say, okay, how can this now help someone else? But the crux of it, at the beginning of it, everyone's selfish in some way. And if you're pinning someone's comment on your post, they're going to love it. They're going to love the fact that you've pinned their comment to begin with, but they're also going to get an increase in exposure. And they're also going to get an increase in their own growth because you have pinned their comment. So if that happens, what are they likely to do? Well, they're going to comment again, hoping you're going to pin their comment again. And then they get exposure again from your page. So if you can pin comments, you could incentivize people to keep coming back in the hope that they get another pinned comment. Now you can think of that as whatever you want to, whether you agree with that idea or not. Again, it works. You are incentivizing people to come back because they're getting, it's like an even exchange of value then. You are getting a comment, they're getting the exposure, right? There's an even exchange of value, and that's why it works, okay? So to summarize, that's kind of the main points for you, to kind of really just reel them off very quickly. Number 1, post 1 piece of content every day. Feel free to have your Sunday off. Number 2, post 3 to 5 stories every day. Number 3, message and reply to leads or potential leads all the time. Number 4, follow and DM 10 to 30 people in your niche and or your target audience every day. Number 5, reply to all comments on your posts. Number 6, comment on the post of the top 20 accounts in your niche. And then number 7, pin 3 comments on your recent posts. Honestly, do this every day. Commit to it, and this is the key thing. Do it once, it's not going to do anything. Do it twice, it's not going to do anything. Do it for a month, might do something little. If you can do this every day for 6 months straight, which is what I've done, then you will start to see results. And it might not be 6 months, you might need to do it for 12 months. But if you commit to it, I promise you this will work. It will, because it's worked for me, it's worked for other people, and it can work for you as well. Just bear in mind, depending on your niche, will change how much you grow, and it will change the numbers that you focus on this checklist, right? Just bear that in mind. It's going to be different results for everyone, but this will help you grow faster and grow more targeted than what you currently are. But only if you commit to it for a long period of time. By long period of time, I mean months. It is a months thing, right? The only leverage you have right now, if you're watching this video and you're kind of just starting out, or you don't have that great of a following, the leverage you have right now is hard work, right? Once you have a following, that becomes your leverage. Once you have engagement, that becomes your leverage. But until you have that, the only leverage you have is your hard work. So work hard, but also work smart, because now you know exactly what to do. Focus on these points and you will get the results you're looking for. Okay, guys? So that about wraps it up. I appreciate you watching. If you want to watch another video, I've got this video here. What one should I give you? You can go and watch 4 habits that help me get to 100K. Great video. It will help you with a bit more of a kind of theory and a kind of psychological aspect to it as well. So go and watch that video. You'll find that super valuable. But other than that, thanks for watching. Don't forget to drop a thumbs up. Drop a comment if you agree or disagree, or if you have any ideas on a good workflow to follow. But other than that, make sure you subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video.